Alright, so the idea today is that I'm going to be doing some practice writing, starting with this. So, oops. It was meant to sort of be a post in and of itself, but, 2FI, but I'm going to sort of practice it here and maybe I'll post it, we'll see. Right. Oops. I was going to. This is. There we go. So I think we need to say that it's set out in the Constitution. The aside here is section dealing with whether a person is eligible to run is section 44. So we've got no one is eligible for office or to run, to hold particularly. No one is eligible to hold office. Foundations for Australia's electoral system is set out in the Constitution. Section dealing with whether a person is eligible to hold office, it's not actually to run, is section 44. We've got this disqualification. So, person, 5 reasons. Okay. So, is under any acknowledgement of, this is such a weasel word in the sense that if you don't know, then it's okay, but if you do know, then it's a problem. So, under any acknowledgement of allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power, or as a subject or a citizen, or entitled to the rights or privileges of a subject or a citizen of a foreign power, or is attainted of treason, convicted under sentence, etc., etc., is undercharged, bankrupt, or insolvent, holds any office or profit under the Crown, or any blah blah blah, so conflict of interest, direct or indirect pecuniary interest in any agreement with public service, etc., etc. This style is annoying me. If we can... What does that do? That's somewhat okay. We really want this. That's going to be really annoying with the flicking back and forward, isn't it? Hold up, let me fix that quickly. Let's get this over here. So what we can do is advanced scene switcher, it's screen region. So this maximum, let's move it back to, so what's that, 4,000? Oops, get rid of that one. Oh. And then this one, what is that? That's about 5,400. Get rid of that. Okay. So now we should only swap over here. Oh. Alright, we do need to go to about here, but then that's annoying. We have an automatic seam switch we want to advanced. Screen region. So if cursor is in blah, switch to blah. If cursor is in min x, max x is 4,000. So why would it be doing it here? Oh, general. Don't switch. That's why. There we go. When we go over it, and a little bit close, and over here. Yep, cool. That looks good. All right. Looks like there's more. We care about case I. Okay, so what do we care about making here? We're going to make a statement about this thing, so we should probably understand that thing. So let's do a tree. So any person who is under acknowledgement shall be incapable of being chosen or sitting as a senator or member of the House of Representatives. So yeah, so particularly, it's not a crime to actually run for office. It's just, well, crime is sort of a interesting thing. Rather, it's like the system should not permit. But yeah, so being chosen, so it doesn't really exclude you from the choice. I think that's sort of deliberate. I think it's also safer. So any person who is under, so is, this is a preposition. Is it a preposition here? Is it a preposition ever? No, God, it's the same as be. Any person who is under any acknowledgement of blah to blah, or is blah, is a subject or a citizen or entitled to the rights or privileges of a subject or a citizen of a foreign power, shall be incapable of being chosen. Okay. So our outline. Under, that's a preposition. Under any acknowledgement. I think that's, yeah, it's prepositional. Under X. So, anyone, what? Anyone who is under X, or so anyone who is Y, subject or a citizen, that's fair, or entitled to rights of Y, of foreign, well, that's just a foreign power, and then shall be disqualified. Okay. So, anyone who is under X or anyone who is Y, any person who is a subject or a citizen are entitled to the rights and privileges of a subject or a citizen, Y, or entitled to the rights of Y of foreign power shall be disqualified. Okay. Now, shall be. So, shall is a auxiliary verb. On B, we could just say like is disqualified, but a particularly thing. I just had a thought. Think of the Discord. Where is... Do we have like an off-topic in Flux? No, I'm just going to leave it. It's a distraction. Okay. Okay. So, we've got clause 1 or clause 2. Oh, wait. Under acknowledgement of allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power. Yeah, okay. Yep. So X includes foreign power. Right, let's go with foreign power. We will just put in Z. That's easier. Anyone who is Y are entitled to rights of Y or Z shall be disqualified. Now, shall can't be used as a conjunction, can it? Nope. So, alright. So, understanding this, well, this is we'll just treat that as a subordinating phrase. I'm going to leave the anyone who implied words in, so I'm going to put or as the root. Okay. Any person. So that's why who is needed there, or rather, this would be whom, I think. Anyone whom, because we need an adverb or a determinant. It's another pronoun. Oh, okay. It's the object of a verbal preposition. So that's not the object, it's the subject. So, whom did he marry? Yeah, okay. So, any determiner person. Okay. So we have who is the pronoun? Hold up, let's just check that. Any person who is who has to link it, right? A person who is a person under any acknowledgement of allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power. So we could say a person under any acknowledgement. So who is there? We could cut that out. So is that who? Let's just have a look at this. Any person who. So any is probably not a determinant here, right? Well, any at all, that's describing the person. So it's got to be a determiner. So person is a noun. I don't think there's any other. So we have determiner noun. That makes sense. Then who, and under any acknowledgement. So just go I think that's a noun, is it? Yep. Another determiner. Any acknowledgement of prep. So that part's fine. Then over here we've got any person subject who is a. Okay, we need the who is here. Any person, we could say any person under, but under is, in the first sentence, if we took away the who is, under would turn into a verb. And it would describe the relationship between the person and the rest of this clause. Anyone who is. So, what's anyone? Anyone's a pronoun. So can we have double pronoun? Is that like a thing? It's Spanish, that doesn't make sense. So that makes more sense. Any person that is under any acknowledgement, because that's a determinant. Pronoun, object, interrogative okay, yep, so that's the what, where, later a relative pronoun. Okay, so this, I think, is our key, relative pronouns. So I probably need to look into Curie's video on the advanced grammar stuff. The person who, so, okay. It's a relative pronoun. It requires referencing the thing before it. So, relative pronoun, and then it references the any person. Now, this is, it might have made more sense if, I mean, it makes sense to put the who here, but it almost makes more structural sense to put the colon after any person. And then who is under any acknowledgement. No, okay. It would sort of work out to a question. And if we had like, who is under any acknowledgement of blah, it would sound like a question if it was in thing. This sounds more like a condition. Like, because we've left out that, like the subject, it sounds like a condition because you could put any subject in it and evaluate it as like a true-false. Does that make sense? I think this is the way to structure it then. Who is under, oh, well, there we go. Under any acknowledgement. Now, I'm pretty sure, well, pretty sure, yep, preposition, extending or directly below, at a lower level then. So, extending, oh, let's get more. At a lower level, lower, controlled, managed, or governed by, under preposition, cool. Now, acceptance of the truth, recognition of the importance, a statement printed at the beginning of a book. So, okay, this is interesting. Acceptance of the truth or existence of anything. So let's, see if I can add a note. How do I do this? If I go edit. Nope. There we go. So that's come up. Topic, acknowledgement, blah. Okay. Oh. Kind of like, if I hover over it, no. Okay. It's not very useful. So, any acknowledgement of allegiance or obedience or adherence, then this whole thing here is like acting as a noun. Any acknowledgement of noun, wait, let's just have a look. Yep. So, of noun, to a foreign power, so these things to a foreign power. So I guess it's these things to a foreign power. So what I might do Power should be noun. We should be able to have, should be a pronoun even. Maybe. Yeah, physical strength, capacity, the ability. So that's not there. So where was Webster? So this was written in between 1890 and 1900. I don't know when the last edits were made, but it was enacted or brought into law in 1901. So Webster's 1913 is probably pretty good. Okay, so we want a noun, cool. The exercise of faculty, the exercise of any kind of control, influence, government. So that's the exercise. So power is no blessing, yep. So it's meaning a foreign government particularly, right? That's the way that I think it's being read. Ability to act, no. Ability, capacity, the agent exercising an ability to act, an individual invested with authority, an institution or government which exercises control, is the great powers of Europe, hence often a superhuman agent, a spirit, a divinity, the powers of darkness. Okay. So that's our thing. Possibly also that, but that would fall under that. Okay. So, that's right. Presume foreign is adjective. Yep. Okay. Let's keep going. So, is under an acknowledgement, well, under any acknowledgement of allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power. And we can just do that as well. Not so certain, but I think that's fine. Or is, again, a verb. Just get rid of that. Or any person who, now, it is, yep, we've got the quote, any person who is a subject or a citizen. The conjunctions here are important because we don't have any commas or parentheticals or things, and the hints given by the structure, so a subject or a citizen or entitled. So these are, there's a list here, and then we have a break. Okay, let's just bring that up. We have a conjunction. So another conjunction. Nope. Subject or a citizen, or entitled to the rights or privileges. So this is grammatically ambiguous because they've used a conjunction twice, but entitled doesn't. Any person who entitled. So, I mean, it's sort of like is first list, a subject or a citizen, or is. So this is okay, yeah. Entitled to the rights or privilege of a subject or a citizen. Got the same phrase, of a foreign power. So is, and then entitled to the rights or privileges. let's just put that while we look up. So entitled to the rights or privileges. So to has to be a preposition. The rights or privileges. So it's the rights or the privileges. It's an implied word or privileges. Oh gosh, this is annoying to thing. Rights or privileges of a subject or citizen of a foreign power to blah. Can I like subgroup these things? Alright, so I'm going to do, say, to the do that. So this is a noun phrase, and we need to be able to like refer to it particularly. So what I'll do is I'll put this under here to break that down, but then I'll also put over here so the rights or privileges of, and then subject or citizen tie the rights or privileges of a subject or a citizen. So they've been they're inconsistent here with regards to sorry, I'm just looking for OBS now to make sure the mic's still working. They're inconsistent here with the way that they talk about a subject or a citizen are entitled to the rights or privileges of a subject or a citizen. So they've got the determinant here is next to these two nouns, but when they say entitled to the rights or privileges, they don't put the determinant next to the nouns, which is sort of a bit annoying. Subject or a citizen of foreign power. I've got a thing there. And then shall be incapable of being chosen or of sitting as a senator or a member of the House of Reps. So this person. So this person, this is I guess the validation thing. Okay. Now the grammatical thing here is that, so when they've said, I just realized if there was anyone in chat, I would never have seen. Okay. When they say any person who is under any acknowledgement of allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power, or is a subject of a foreign citizen, or a subject or a citizen, or blah. No, okay. Oh. So this is sort of annoying in that a subject, citizen, or entitled to the rights or privileges, like a subject, a citizen, that would make more sense. Just a list of 3 things here as opposed to a list of like a list of a pair and then a list of another thing. So this is part of it as well, is that they've got like so this is another thing, because they've put the verb in here as the first thing in each thing, it's harder to figure out what the hell is going on, because we've got any person and then like is, there's lots of these things, but essentially we've got, so whereas if it was any person who is this or whatever, we've got just a whole bunch of nouns, as opposed to this sort of thing. And I mean, holds, we can say is holding, so you can just put holding any office of profit, that's fine. And then any person who is any direct or indirect, or any person who is I can sort of or you could say in any agreement with the public service of the Commonwealth where they have a direct or indirect pecuniary interest, otherwise than as a member and in common with the other members in incorporated companies consisted. Cool. Just looking at the time. So I think it's actually this inconsistency is quite annoying at this point. So because shall be incapable of being chosen or of sitting as a senator or member of the House of Reps. So shall be disqualified. Like the grouping here is just atrocious. Okay. Then these would be two prepositional phrases, essentially, in, well, there's a noun, and then, no, that's not prepositional either. So, as in, any person who is under acknowledgement, so the under here is a prepositional phrase, acting as a noun. Let's see where that goes. So it's a modifier, right? Yeah, okay, because any person who is red, for example. So this is a noun. Any person who is entitled. So that is a noun as well, right? No. Max is entitled. How does that work? Okay, so it's the adjective. That's modifier. Max is a subject. Max is a citizen. Max is a subject or citizen. Subject or a citizen. So 2 has to be on the entitled. Or is it a... I mean, it could be a verb. What? How would it be a verb? Let's have a look at that. Any person who is... So we can have, like, is blah, or... No, so... a subject or a citizen, or... subject or a citizen or entitled to the rights or privileges of a subject or a citizen of a foreign power. Is an X or entitled to the rights to the Ys of X of a foreign power. Entitled to. Is there a... Is it like an infinitive thing that would make sense here? Does that even make sense? Where's Gerens? Whoops. Oh, is this in a different thing? That makes sense. Alright. So this... So I'm thinking like any person who is painted for the sake of, I'm not saying anything, whatever. Any person who is painted green or red of a shade darker than most. Any person who is thinking or red of a shade darker than, we can sort of do that. I mean, like, just think about a participle is an adjective, but it's being treated as a noun, like in terms of, or is it prepositions? Are they on adjectives as well? Let me just go here. So this is like an adjective on any person. That sort of makes sense. Okay, let's just leave it and keep going with that. Is a subject or a citizen or entitled to the rights or privileges. Entitled to the rights or privileges of a subject or a citizen of a foreign power. Do we have... yep. And then this person that we don't have a good way to refer to particularly. Actually, the way to refer to it, I mean, the root, is the root sort of like the colon of all things? Let's make a new thing. Or, no, any person who, so we've got any person who is blah jumps through the hoop. So maybe we can look at all of that as a noun phrase or a noun clause, which would mean shall be incapable. So it's actually be is the shall be incapable well, nope, okay. That's an adjective again. But whatever. We've already got that. Incapable of being chosen or of sitting as a senator or a member of the House of Reps. That is well, that would be close. That's the thing. So being is a gerund, right? Chosen must, what is chosen? It's an adjective, okay. Yeah, so, well, playing sports. What is sports? That's just a noun. Gerund or present participle. Okay, that's the thing there. So present participle sort of makes sense. But being is sort of, oh no, there we go. Gerund or present participle. Cool. It's sort of annoying when it doesn't give you actual being in any. Okay. Chosen is a thing. Chosen is sort of like a determiner. Determinant. He is the chosen one. Something like that. the chosen max. Sort of works, but you've got to fuzz the meaning of max. What is it? Webster. Past participle of choose, chosen, noun. So this is just a noun. Well, let's go here. Nope. Looks as though it's a noun. One who. You are the chosen. That sort of makes sense. Alright. Let's, incapable of being chosen. So, being table. It can't. This chair is incapable of being a table. Being the chosen. Being a chosen. Being chosen. Being doesn't really feel like the noun, does it? Capable of existing. Having the property. Is sort of the are incapable of having the property of winning an election. Selection. Incapable of selection or sitting. Oh, being chosen or of sitting. So, sorry. Of being chosen or of sitting. The or is here. We have the ob prep on being chosen. Being chosen as so preposition makes sense. Being chosen as sitting. Being chosen has to be a noun. Somewhere there. Okay. So where is the eligibility? So I think it's okay, so this is the question. So acknowledgement of allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power. So, like in my case, grandparents being Polish, the fact that I have like initiated the process to have that citizenship recognized so that I can one day revoke it is adherence, I guess. But if I didn't do that, or I reject that now, even though I could change my mind in the future, that would be fine. Okay, so all I have to do to be eligible to run again is just reject the adherence. Allegiance or obedience. Oh wait, no, because then there's this thing. So, under the acknowledgement of... So, in order to be eligible to run for Parliament, you cannot be under the acknowledgement of any acknowledgement of adherence to a foreign power. Now, that presumably is not so ridiculous as to adherence. That's an interesting word. Okay, this is taking much longer than I anticipated, but that's all right. Let's have a look at adherence. Adhering. So that's annoying. But adhere, I guess like that. To stick fast or cleave, as a glutinous substance starts to become joined or united to hold, be attached, devoted, to remain fixed, either by personal union or conformity of faith, principle, or opinion. Be consistent or coherent, to be in accordance, to agree. So, this one is pretty loose. So that one seems... This one's irrelevant. So this one seems, it's like, to be attached or devoted. That's sort of the key thing there. To be consistent or coherent in accordance to agree. This one, like, it's too broad. Now, any acknowledgement of obedience to a foreign power, that's literally going through customs. So, if you go to another country and comply with their laws knowingly, then you're not able to sit. That's one interpretation. Allegiance is probably pretty straightforward. Tier or obligation, implied or expressed, subject owes to a sovereign or government, this king, government, or state, etc. Devotion, loyalty, allegiance, science. So that's pretty straightforward. Let's have a look at adherence. Here. Attached or committed to a person, cause, or belief, the quality or process of sticking fast to an object or service. We don't have any other ones. So attached to a cause or belief. So, which means right there. A person, cause, or belief can't be a foreign power though, but why wouldn't it just be attachment or commitment? To something in particular. Because adherence, we have the quality or state of adhering. State of being fixed in attachment, fidelity, steady attachment. So adhering, I guess, is adherence to a foreign power, so being fixed in attachment. So like this, whoops. Let's just grab this. Hearing to opinion. So what does fidelity mean in this period? Faithfulness. Okay, yep. That's probably easier for you to read. Fixed in attachment. Not really attached, are we? I mean, that's pretty allegiance straightforward to a foreign power. So um, well, oh wait, that's probably British Empire. Maybe not. Do we have a timeline? So, self-governing dominions comprise the dominions, colonies, protectorates, mandates, and other territories as predecessor states. Ruled or administered by the UK. Self-governing, so not ruled or administered. Citizens of the British Empire, including UK dominions and colonies, but excluding protectorates and protected states. Self-governed, semi-independent, constitutional term of art, Australia, so this depends a bit on, so here we've got dominions, protectorates and protected states. So Australia's not been one of those, but it was a dominion, according to this British Empire thing, where they became, what was it? Self-governing dominions. So we're still British, like Australians were British subjects before 1949. Up till 1983, Commonwealth citizen of a Commonwealth nation's member state. Australia. Cool. Okay. Currently, it refers to people possessing a class of British nationality, largely granted under limited circumstances to those connected with Ireland or British India. Before 1949, nationality of British nationals and Commonwealth citizens, but not British citizens. So, So, let's have a look at this. Dump, 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 dump. Ceased to be exclusively British, although it's often referred to as British for legal and historical reasons, and for convenience, the monarch became a separate monarch of the UK, monarch of Canada, monarch of Australia, and so forth. Okay. So, oh, reigned. I thought that said resigned. She's represented by the Governor General. Let's have a look at section 2. Oh, great. We're not going to really bother about doing a bunch of stuff. Okay. So this is just the fun fact column, I guess. Just put that there. So um so recognition or acceptance. So is there a condition somewhere where you have to like if I were to say I am not like under the power of the monarchy or of Queen Elizabeth, if I like claim that outright, particularly if I'm a parliamentarian and I claim that, is that like treason? That seems pretty high. Sedition is... Um, so we're getting a bit lax here, but I don't think this is grammatical. Good old the Attorney General Philip Roddick. The offence is 1F. Yeah, no, that's not grammatical. Wow, okay. That is old. Let's ignore that. We don't really care about sedition, that's not a good use of time. Let's get rid of this. We do have Effectively defunct for nearly half a century. Oh. This would be an and. All Australian citizens are subjects of foreign power if they are. Well, oh no, that's it. We can stop. They don't have to acknowledge it. Of course not. Because, let's go back. Under any acknowledgements of obedience, blood to a foreign power, or any person who is a subject or a citizen of a foreign power. Oh wait, no, subject to citizen of, yeah. Well, subject to citizen of a foreign power. Queen Elizabeth is a foreign power, and we are her subjects. Let's just do this. Oh no, this is the thing. This is the Constitution. So we want legislative power. Consists of the Queen, the Senate, House of Reps, the Parliament, or Parliament of the Commonwealth. So I don't think they need to acknowledge this. They just need to acknowledge because they're under her power regardless. Okay, so that's the argument. So, this is also in terms of, where are we? Let's get rid of all this. Let's go back to form set forth in the schedule. Okay. Well, this is a bloody clincher. So, okay, so wow, alright, that's worse than I thought, really. Wow, alright. Oh gosh. Alright, I am going to go to the bathroom and probably take a break from camera and mic at least. And then we will try and sort this into something we can write. Well, what would just do that? Well, this part, these are things we're taught in school, not that. Okay, well, my tutorial is going to be about now, so I'm going to continue this on with Elliot. Um, wow, my spelling. Okay, alright. I'm going to end this stream now and head over to youtube.com/Curie42 to see the other thing. To see the tutorial, where we'll continue talking about